Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to get a very simple, neutral, smoky-ish eye. This is an easy way to take your daytime look into the evening, date night, girls night, and just add a little bit of depth to the eyes and face in order to escalate your look a little bit. So I'm going to be getting straight into that. First, I should probably get my hair out of my face. I might speed through some of the steps, but if you guys have any questions, please feel free to DM me and I will get to them. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and just hydrate my face a little bit with just a little bit of facial mist. I'm also gonna prep my sponge with a little mist on it. There we go. I'm gonna go straight into primer. I'm gonna be using the Benefit Professional primer today. I just like this for filling the pores. It really just smooths out your base and it looks really, really nice. So just a little bit of that. You can do your foundation first. Sometimes I do, it honestly just depends on how I'm feeling that day. I don't think that you have to go in one order or another. When you do your brows after your foundation, you don't have to worry about getting foundation in them because it's already done. When you do your brows before, it's nice to just kind of have like a map out of your face and kind of get the sketch going a little bit of like what things are gonna look like. So there's pros and cons to both sides. You just do whatever makes sense for you. Just a little bit, I'm just gonna take a flat brush like this and a little bit of concealer. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, my favorite concealer I think I've ever used aside from maybe NARS Radiant Creamy. This is like my favorite so far. So just gonna take a little bit of that and carve out the brows. The shade that I'm using is only about one shade lighter than the rest of my face. So when I'm carving my brows out, I'm not getting a crazy high contrast. So just that, and then I am gonna put a little concealer on first before I go into the foundation. But even before I get into my concealer, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with some powder. And this might seem like out of sequence for you if you're newer to makeup, or even if you've done makeup for a really long time and you just have never used this technique before. I heard about this about probably 2 years ago now, the idea of using powder underneath your liquid foundation to help keep it on all day, to help with oil control, to even add a little bit of extra coverage, whatever you need it to do. Doing this is a really great tip. I'm just gonna take a little bit of a little bit of translucent powder, and I'm just gonna put it straight onto my face. And with foundation, this is the foundation I'm using. It's the MAC Face and Body Foundation. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of that on a flat top brush like this. Oh, I forgot actually. Before I go into the foundation, I'm gonna go ahead and take my concealer. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer again. And I'm just gonna do this part of my concealer, just the very inner corner of my eye. I find that it's just a little harder to reach with foundation. I mean, once your foundation is on and getting your concealer into that area, it's not as easy as it is when you have nothing else on your face. So I'm just gonna do that part now. Take my sponge. Actually, I'm gonna take my finger first and just press it in very, very, very gently. And make sure I get all the way in there. Kind of let it dry down a little bit, and then I'm gonna pounce it out. Looks a little funny right now, but once I have my foundation on, it won't look like that. So now I'm gonna go in with my foundation. I apply the majority first to my cheeks, which is where I need the most coverage, and then I'll just build outwards after that. So once I have the foundation on, I'm just gonna go ahead and press it in a little bit more with my sponge. Okay, next I'm gonna go into my concealer. So I'm gonna take that same concealer I've been using and just apply some right underneath my eye, just like that. I'm gonna do the exclamation point on my nose, and then I'm gonna take it a little further up between the brows and a little into the forehead, just a little bit, and my chin, here, here, and right around the nose. I'm gonna take my foundation brush to blend out that top portion, just so that it dilutes it a little bit more, since there's some leftover foundation on here. Just pressing that in. And then same thing on the chin, just pressing it in. Go over it a little bit with this sponge. Then I'm gonna take my ring finger here and just press the concealer in. I'm not gonna take it all the way up under my eye yet. I'm just gonna start to blend it in as it's closer to my cheekbone, right here. And I'm gonna let it sit a little bit longer before I take it up into my under eyes, because I want it to just keep a lot of the coverage in the areas that I'm letting it sit longer. Once it gets up into right underneath my eye, I don't really need a lot of coverage there, so I'm not really worried about getting it in there. While that's sitting, I'm gonna go ahead and add some cream contour. We might get some music in here a little bit, because I think my boyfriend's gonna put some music on. I'm gonna take a little bit here. I didn't do that in my other tutorial, but why not? I'm gonna take a stippling brush and blend all of that out. And then immediately after that, I'm gonna go ahead and finally blend out the last of that concealer. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with some powder. I'm just gonna take a little bit of the Wet n Wild translucent powder, and I'm going to take that on my same sponge that I've been using, and I'm gonna take it straight underneath the eye, just a little bit, and just press it straight in there, and then bring it down everywhere I put concealer. So I'm not baking, I'm not adding like a crazy excess amount of product whatsoever. I'm just picking up the powder, placing it down where I want, and then pressing it in until it kind of disappears. Take a little bit of, a very little bit, like I'm barely gonna pass my brush into this. It's the same powder we used in the beginning. I'm just gonna get the slightest amount, like not much of this at all, just kind of tap it in and just lightly dust it across the rest of my face. Just press it in and just lightly dust it. Okay, perfect. So next I'm gonna hop straight into bronzer, and this is the Milani Baked Bronzer in the color Soleil. You can find this at Target or CVS. So I'm just gonna take this tapered dome brush and get straight into the bronzer. So now I'm gonna take that same bronzer on a fluffy eye brush and just run it into my crease. And if we were just doing a daytime look, this is all I would do to my eyes. I wouldn't do anything else. Honestly, if I did anything at all, it would just be this. I don't really do much on a daily basis anyways, but if you're somebody who likes to get ready for work, this is an easy look to do, especially with the fact that you can just add a couple things later on and it'll elevate the look a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go into some eyeliner next. This is Maybelline Infallible Longwear Eye Pencil in the color brown. I'm a big fan of brown eyeliner over black eyeliner. I like black eyeliner when it makes sense for me, like nights out or, you know, special events, a winged look or something like that. I'm a huge fan of black eyeliner, but on a daily basis, sometimes I just think brown does more for me, adds more to my look than brown does, than black does, just by, you know, being a little bit of a switch up. So whatever gets onto my eyelid, I'm just gonna go ahead and smear. Nothing perfect about it, no straight line or anything like that. I'm just smearing it on top of my lid because my goal in this was to just get it into like my actual upper waterline to make sure that that was all colored in to give the illusion of a more fuller lash line, and make your lashes ultimately look more voluminous and longer even. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into my mascara. This is the Bad Gal Bang Benefit Mascara. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys the rest of my face routine just so you can see what the normal daytime look would be, and then how I would take it from a day to an evening look. So next thing for me would be blush. I'm gonna take this blush by MAC. It's called Blush Baby, and I'm gonna take this brush and go ham, basically. For daytime looks especially, I mean, I do like blush for evening looks as well, but for daytime especially, I think a lot of blush can go a really long way, or a little blush. whatever, just pack the blush on, honestly. I put mine both on the apples of my cheeks as well as along the cheekbone. Some people prefer one or the other. If you are putting them on the apples of your cheeks, you want to add a little, that's adding like fullness to your face. If you have a very skinny face, I would recommend doing them on the apples of your cheek. And if you have a little bit of a rounder face, kind of keeping things back up here is going to slim out your face a little bit and kind of define those cheekbones. I just have a lot of cheek area, so I just highlight it, you know what I mean? I just go in, embrace it, and put a lot of blush on. And then next, I'm gonna go ahead and take another Milani product. Milani cheek products are my favorite, so that's why you see them a lot. This is in the color Sunlight, and this is their Spotlight Face and Eye Strobe Palette. So I'm gonna take that on a dual fiber brush and just put it all over literally my entire face, keeping it mostly at the cheekbones. So this is basically what my day look would look like. I could add a quick lip here. Just something very simple, not much to it, very angelic looking. But if you're gonna go out with your friends or go on a date or something like that, you get off work and you just need to change your look up a little bit, this is what I recommend you do. You just get your contour kit, whatever it is, and you mix the contour shades together. On a flat brush, you're just gonna pack that onto your lid. And I'm gonna take a fluffier brush, the same bronzer that I had, and just one of the lighter contour shades, doesn't even matter which one, and just blend out. So now what I've done is add a lot of depth to the eye without doing very much at all. And then you can just play with it. If you like how that one layer looks, good for you. If you want to take it a little deeper, you just grab the darkest shade in there and just keep adding it on. So I am gonna add just a little bit more, kind of keep it lower towards my lash line. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. Just take the same colors on a flat brush or something like that and just run that underneath my lash line. And then I'm gonna go into that brown liner and add that straight into my waterline. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some lashes. These are Kiss lashes in the style Page Boy. They are my favorite right now, and they work really, really well with this look because they are natural, but full enough to still add a little, just to elevate your look a little bit from the daytime look. So what I do when I'm putting lashes on is I'll grab a small mirror and focus on one lash at a time. I don't even try to do them both or get them both ready or anything. So I put the glue on and just bend it a little bit, grab a small mirror, and I look straight down into it, put the lash on coming from the top, and stay looking down into the mirror in order to see exactly where the lash lays. And I can make sure that I'm putting it directly on my lash line and not having some big gaps or spaces. And then it also sits the lash straight up on top of my neck. if you do have acrylics, you can use tweezers, or there's special tools made for doing this. So I'm gonna go ahead, let them dry a little bit, and then I'll just kind of pinch them together, make sure that they're stuck together nicely. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and go into my mascara and do my bottom lashes. So for this, you can kind of do the opposite and lift the mirror up a little bit so that you have to look up into the mirror. Obviously wait until your mascara and your eyelash glue is dried, but that way you're not looking down and then getting mascara all over your bottom lash line. So the next thing I'm gonna do is grab that same shimmer brick from earlier, same brush, and just go into the white gold area only. And I'm just gonna add that right to the top of the cheekbones. Just like that. Right on the forehead. And then I'm also gonna take it on my pinky here and go right on the tip of my nose. And in my inner corner of my eye. And next, just to again elevate the look, just to kind of polish things off a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and take some brow gel and just brush it in. I mean, again, it's probably the end of the day, your brows might have slid off already and you just want to kind of redefine them. This is a good way to do that without having to redo your entire eyebrows. Just run a little bit of brow gel. If you have tinted brow gel, that's gonna define them even more. So that's what I'm doing to just kind of polish things off a little bit. Perfect. And now I'm gonna go ahead and go into lip liner. Okay, so I had to get the lighting situation fixed, but I just showed you guys how to use a neutral pencil. The one I had was the Benefit Brow Pencil in 3.5, and I just contoured my lip a little bit, just so I added a little shadow here and a little here. I could easily leave it like this, just throw on a gloss and be fine, but I do want to show you guys how to, or how I like to overline my lips. So this is the Cork lip liner from MAC, and I'm going to, oh, I already got some on me, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just take this and go straight in. I'm gonna go on my bottom lip first. This is just where I like to start. You can start wherever you feel comfortable, but I'm just gonna go on my bottom lip first, and I'm already overlining at that point, just going right over pretty much the contour and marking out where I want it to lay. Then I'm gonna go straight to the actual corner of my lip, and I'm gonna stick and stay to the natural line of my lip until I get to about here. So I'm not gonna overline over here at all. I'm gonna keep it all where my lip actually is. And then once I get out here, then I can go outside the lines a little bit. So same thing on the top. I'm gonna stick to the natural line of my lip until about here, and then I can go over if I want, but I really only end up going over right on top of my Cupid's bow. I don't really overline around my mouth at all. I just don't end up liking the way that it looks on me. So stick to your natural curve, natural lip line, all the way up. For me, I don't have any color right here on my lip. It's there, but the color just completely disappears on this side, so it ends up looking like I'm overlining it, and I'm not. But okay, so once that's done, I'm just gonna go over my Cupid's bow like I normally would, but I'm just gonna round it out a tad bit. I'm not gonna let it dip in as much as it naturally wants to, and I'm just gonna round it out a little bit. Okay, so at this point, it looks a little funny, obviously. Kind of looks like I have a mustache or like a machola or something. But what I like to do now is just take that same darker lip liner and darken the outer corners of the lips. That just kind of creates some more shadow, more depth. And then I'm gonna take a lighter lip liner. This is Boldly Bare by MAC. This kind of has a pinkish tone to it as well. And I'm gonna color the rest of my lip in with that. And even go on top of the brown, just to kind of blend things together a little bit. If you need to blot the lip liner off a little, you can as well. But I definitely go over with the second lip liner almost directly on top of the first one, just so I make sure that it's really blended in and there's not any like stark lines or anything like that. Oh, my lips are dry. So I just kind of pat them together a little bit. Just like that. And then I'm gonna take my NYX London Lip Cream. And this is literally like out. I need to buy another one. But I'm gonna take whatever is on this. Oh, I got a lot out on that one. Oh, I got a lot out on that. Save some of that. And then I'm gonna take this pretty much all the way up as well. Okay, so that is pretty much what I do for my lips. And if you want to take it a step further even, you can go in with like a little bit of concealer right on the middle of your lip. I really like the way that this looks, that this came out, so it's not super bright in the middle. So again, that's it for this look. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you're still watching, I have a special offer for you, just for being supportive, for, you know, looking to me for any type of advice, for sitting through this video. I just want to offer you something special. So for anyone who messages me after watching this IGTV before 24 hours has passed, so I'm posting it now at whatever time, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. If you message me from now, April 11th at 6 p.m., to tomorrow, April 12th at 6 p.m., I will be offering you a free makeup consultation for 45 minutes via Zoom, meaning I will sit down with you and break down your makeup routine, break down where you would like your makeup routine to be, what kind of looks you're interested in learning and getting the hang of for yourself, and yeah, just talking, getting to know you, letting you know my favorite products, what I recommend for you, and that will be free for the next 24 hours. I'm offering that to anybody who DMs me after watching this IGTV. So share it with your friends who you know want to get better at makeup, and maybe we can do a double Zoom with them. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But thank you guys again for watching, and I'm very excited to meet you, very excited to talk makeup with you, and I will see you next time.